Hello and welcome again to airgunweb.com. My name is Rick Utzler and I'm glad you've chosen to spend some time with us as we take a look at the Beeman R7 Elite from pyramidAir.com. While the Beeman R9 is a true blue hunting airgun, the R7 is built more for target practice and is really set up as a youth airgun. It weighs in at about 8 pounds with the scope. In our Crony tests, it topped out at around 670 feet per second with the RWS Hobby pellets. The Beeman R7 is one of the most enjoyable airguns that I've had the pleasure to review. Let's take a close-up look at this rifle.
The Beeman R7 is a truly gorgeous airgun. It is virtually a miniature Beeman R9 in just about every way. The woodwork and metalwork of the R7 is right on par with what you'd expect from an expensive, high-quality German airgun. The stock is simple and works equally well for both right and left-handed shooters. There is some nice checkering on the forearm, which is not only decorative but functional and adds a bit of texture to the stock. From what I can see, the R7 is all metal and wood with no plastic parts to be found. With proper care and maintenance, this gun should last several lifetimes. The Beeman R7 Elite ships from Pyramid Air with a mounted Bushnell 4-12x40 AO scope. The scope has a standard duplex reticle. This is a very nice scope and has one of the brightest sight pictures that I've seen from an airgun scope. Bushnell calls this their dusk to dawn feature, and I can see why, as even in low light the scope is easy to use. Perhaps the most surprising feature of the Beeman R7 Elite is the record trigger. This is the same trigger that is found in the R9 and really makes this rifle what it is. For me, the record trigger is one of the top 3 airgun triggers that I've had the pleasure to test. The R7 has an automatic safety at the rear of the gun that is reset between shots. As you can see, the R7 is not your average youth airgun.
When it comes to performance, the Beeman R7 is not designed as a magnum hunting rifle. It is meant to be a lower-powered, accurate, fun target rifle. Pyramid Air puts the maximum velocity at around 700 feet per second with lead pellets. Let's see how our Beeman R7 Elite performed. The RWS Hobbies, which are a 7-grain pellet, fired a high of 667 feet per second, a low of 647 feet per second, gave us an average of 654 feet per second. The extreme spread was 20 feet per second with a standard deviation of 5 feet per second. The energy delivered was a 6.65 foot-pounds. Now that's not bad, we're only a few feet per second off the 700 feet per second mark. Our most accurate pellet was the Craftsman Premier Light in the cardboard box. They are a 7.9 grade pellet and they gave us the following results. They shot a high of 609 feet per second, a low of 596 feet per second, an average of 602 feet per second, with an extreme spread of 13 feet per second and a standard deviation of only 3 feet per second. Now this generated 6.36 foot-pounds of energy. Alright, so we're not going to win any power competitions with this rifle. But power isn't everything. How does it do in the accuracy department? Let's find out. The Beeman R7 is quite literally a small Beeman R9. It's set up for smaller shooters and is ideal for shooting paper targets, spinners, and learning how to properly shoot an airgun. My guess is that it is really meant for shooting at 10 yards, but I performed all our tests at 25 yards just to make it stretch its legs a bit. While the results weren't quite as good as I got with the R9, they are certainly in my top 5. For fun, I've added a third shot group that was shot through a new piece of equipment that I just picked up. It's my TTS cam, or my through the scope cam. I'm waiting for a few more parts to make it more stable and clear, but I wanted to give you all a taste of things to come. Shooting with the TTS cam is tough to say the least, and it makes using a proper hold virtually impossible. But it's still a lot of fun watching the pellet hit the target through the scope. Let's take a look. ahead and wrap this up. The Beeman R7 is a wonderfully fun airgun and is a complete joy to shoot. It may not be a hunting airgun, but it is extremely accurate and you can shoot it all day without getting worn out. Everything about the R7 is quality and precision. It is really a small version of the R9, which, as we've seen, is an amazing airgun. The R7 has the famous record trigger, which can't be overlooked. When it comes to accuracy, a lot of things play a role. For me, having a trigger with a crisp, light second stage is really important. That is one of the things that makes the R7 as good as it is. If there's one downside to the R7, it's only in the price tag. At around $450, it is an expensive airgun, but worth it when quality is more important than price. I want to take a moment and thank the folks at PyramidAir.com for sending us this rifle and sponsoring this review. When you're looking for your next air rifle or your next batch of supplies, please point your browser to www.PyramidAir.com. They've been incredible to work with and really stand behind their customers. Until next time, this is Rick Utzler with AirgunWeb.com. Thanks again for spending some time with us today.